Good morning. I have got my report findings and fixings. I don't know if it's called fixings. It's called adjustment. Report of findings and adjustment appointment at Haptic Chiropractics. So I've been having Achilles pain since early January. I got it literally from just being on an easy run at the start of my marathon training, and I had been running for over a year at that point and not had any issues, nothing. So I was really confused why I started getting this injury, I guess, on a literal, I think it was a 7K easy run. And I did the run with Cal, and then the next day I tried to do a tempo run, and I literally had to stop halfway through, and it was freezing cold, and I had to walk home. I actually ended up getting on a line bike, so it probably looked like one of those fake influencer Strava people that just fake a run, film it, and then get on a line bike home. I literally couldn't even run through the pain, and then it was time to go to Australia. So I basically put a story out to say that I'm struggling with some pain in my Achilles. It's on my right leg, and basically it's literally like here. It's like the connector from the calf to the ankle and the foot, and I literally couldn't run. It was causing so much pain. It was like a pulling, aching. Anyway, I put something on my story, and then Charlie sent me a DM. Now, he actually went to Bournemouth Chiropractic. I keep saying chiropractic. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm saying it. Chiropractor College in Bournemouth. I actually used to live on the road that the college was on, like my childhood home for years. I lived there. Anyway, he trained there for 4 years. He went to Soul Clinic Run Club, which is the same run club my brother went to. Anyway, he reached out and said that he specialises in running injuries, and if I still have issues when I'm back from Australia, then I can go down to Shoreditch to Haptic. Basically, throughout Australia, I was still having pain. I did both run clubs, and the pain definitely eased up, but there was some times where it hurt more than others, like when we did the cycling wine tour. That evening, I was in so much pain. So I messaged him, and I literally booked in the day after I landed. So we landed at midday on Wednesday, and I was straight in for an appointment Thursday morning, just because I'm getting stressed. I'm doing a half and a full marathon this year, and I just want this sorted. I don't want it to get worse, because you see horror stories of injuries that stop people running for like months and mean they can't do their races and whatever. So yeah, I really wanted to get it done. I had my first appointment last week. It was just kind of like an overview, chatting, looked at my Strava and my stats, did a couple different like exercises. It was really interesting. We did one where I basically had to stand and put my toe kind of like close to the wall. Pull this all the way down. I'm actually gonna be late, so I probably should stop doing this because I need to leave for my appointment. But quickly, yeah, basically I put my toe up against like the wall, and then I bend this forward and I can touch the wall. And then I move it further back, bend it forward, touch the wall. And I do the same with this one, really close, and like literally look, cannot bend it, cannot get it anywhere near the wall. Obviously moving further back, couldn't even. And that's the injured one. So yeah, we basically did loads of exercises like that. He then like squeezed bits of muscles, pulled, adjusted, did chiropractor things. But basically I honestly didn't even think, oh, chiropractor to do with back, but then I saw on the spine, but then I saw a friend before and she was like, isn't it physio you should be seeing? Like, isn't chiropractor just to do with the spine? But the spine literally connects your brain to the whole rest of your body, and it controls so many things. So if your spine's out of whack and out of line, it can cause loads of other things. But also chiropractors don't just do spine work, they do loads of other stuff. Yeah, basically, we did all of that, looked at my Strava, and basically, I think it's going to be down to the fact that in December, I randomly ran 18K with Cal for his December running challenge, and I did not build up to it at all. And then I didn't kind of wind down from it afterwards either. And I think that was just such a shock to the system. And Cal didn't get injured or have any issues, but you know, he was building up every day, like adding a kilometre on, and I just dove into a 14K. And then the week after, just dove into an 18K. So we think that's why. And apparently also on easy runs, that's when you use your calf the most. Anyway, so I think that's what it's going to be. But yeah, this appointment is all about like the findings and doing the adjustments, and hopefully I'll get some kind of stretching and exercise to do at home to make it better. But I literally nearly face plant down really steep stairs in my apartment block, and now my arm kills where I just caught myself. Also yesterday I was filming for a Meta ad, and it's like a wellness evening, and I was like running a bath or whatever, and I was like, should I get a bath shot or is this risque? And I ended up not including it, but anyway, it was in the bath and I abruptly got out of the bath and I scraped my leg along the like tap that goes into the bath, and when I tell you, got a grim bruise and like red scrape all across the top of my thigh. Honestly, I'm filming loads of ads about wellness and your like mental health in your brain and everything this week, and I think I honestly need to listen to myself a little bit more because I am rushing around so much. But I think that's what comes with taking 2 weeks of holiday when you're a freelancer, because there's no one to cover you whilst you're away. So like 3 hours to film within the first couple of days of being home, and edit and do amendments and post within a week. So it has been chaos. My New Year's resolution is to take my evenings back, and I'm hoping to start that next week. The new year starts next week for me. But anyway, I'm running a little bit late now, so let's get on the bus and let's get to Haptic. Hi! Good, how are you? Oh my goodness! Hi! Oh! My first tempo run back since literally not doing any tempo runs. And I was able to do it, so that's really good.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And I've done a couple runs.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm back to it. I did like a reformer Pilates class as well, and that was fine. So it's not
really
stopping me from exercising.
Yeah,
anymore.
which is perfect. And that's what I said, just go out and just do it, but like have that in your head, in the background, like going like 4 out of 10, then you want to slowly just bring things down.
I just realised I've got my shoes on and I'm supposed to take them off.
No, it's, but no. You can just kick them over to the side, wherever works best. I'm going to basically explain everything that we found.
Yes.
Throw in all different findings, and then we'll get some treatment done and some adjustments as well, which might be pretty fun. Excited?
Yeah.
Nervous? Scared?
All of the above.
All of the above, just everything.
And I've been telling Cal about it.
Yeah.
He's got 2 marathons.
Wow.
And a half. He literally runs Paris, and then I think the week later runs London with me.
Wow, that's crazy.
So he's running Paris for a time, but obviously London's going to just be at my pace, which is like an easy pace for him.
Yeah, easier.
But it's, easier. But I mean, it's still like the distance, isn't it? Like so it's
but I think that whenever I used to like run like not my normal pace, I would actually ache more, or like my knees would start to ache a little bit more.
Slower,
because you're putting like more strain through everything and you're not in like your usual rhythm going through. Right, so right Achilles, which is sort of causing us a bit of issues here.
Yeah.
When we were sort of looking at things, the way that you were running, sort of your load coming up, we sort of had a few factors that were sort of playing into it slightly. And the fact that we've got the new trainers as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a few things going on. I'll take posture pics at the end as well, mark them up for you, and I can quickly show you them as well.
Yeah.
I
feel like I'm sat like this and now I want to sat like this whilst listening, like, yes, posture.
And we're slightly rounded forward, but most people are. The thing with being rounded forward in our daily lives is that when we start rounding forward, it brings everything else a little bit forward. So when we walk, we're not as sort of using all of our sort of hips and core as we would like to. However, as soon as we bring the shoulders back, everything sort of walks a bit nicer, and we have that better walking form almost. So when we're going through chiropractic just generally, we're looking at different areas of the spine that we like to call being subluxed. So this is where 3 things come together. So our thoughts or our stresses day to day, this sort of fires up our fight or flight almost, right? So we become tense, just generally through daily stresses.
We're going to feel intense today. It's been quite an aggressive couple of days with work, so.
All the flights as well. I mean, seeing on your social media, you're like putting out like loads of stuff at the moment.
It's really aggressive.
Just general like the micro traumas that we're getting. So again with the Achilles, even like if we're picking up something a little bit ski with, it might not be that thing that sort of sets off our pain. It could be like the accumulation of other things in the background. So all these other things sort of add up. I describe it like a kettle. It's like each degrees, and then eventually the kettle starts to boil. So it might not be the final degrees, which was the main thing, but it's part of it, if that sort of makes sense. And then toxins, I mean, you're obviously eating really well, but just generally, like if we drink alcohol on weekends, or if we don't eat great one day, and all of this sort of builds up, we don't have like the best recovery. What I was going to discuss with you, with sort of eating wise, is collagen.
I need to find a good vegan one.
So I looked up vegan collagen supplements, which I think you can get. And that will just help with sort of your ligaments and just keeping them flowing. Like collagen is definitely a one to add in for like vegans and vegetarians. Definitely. I mean, I'm vegan myself.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Fun.
So yeah, I probably should be adding collagen in myself.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Something to like think about. I don't know. Have a little research, and if you find anything good, like let me know as well.
I will let you know.
So for me, I work with chiropractic in 2 ways. So essentially, it's the pathway between your brain and your body through the spine. So this can control everything, essentially. Breathing rate, heart rate, our digestion, and our muscles. So without our nervous system, we describe our muscles as just a bit of tissue, like connecting bone to bone almost, or being the mover between bone to bone. But without that nervous system, it's just going to be a bit of like muscle. It's not going to do much. So with that sort of nerve impulse, it creates that flexion extension. And it goes back to the spine at the end of the day. So if our spine is slightly off, then that's going to cause a whole effect with maybe how we're breathing, how we're feeling, and how we're moving generally and functioning. Right, so with the test that we did, when we were palpating the calf just generally, we found a little bit of tension on the inside of your right calf.
Yeah, it was really on the inside, I remember.
And that was going down slightly as well into the Achilles. So your calf is the muscle bulk, your Achilles is what attaches your calf to your hip, essentially through there, so it radiates down. All muscles sort of have this sort of radiating pain, which is a real cycle because you think that you could be like massaging down your Achilles when actually the real pain is up here in your calf. And we know from like different bits of research that calves are such a big propulsion forward for running, especially when doing slow runs. Your calves are like the main guys that are pumping you forward. When we start to run a bit quicker, when we start to get into a bit of more of a tempo pace, then we're still using our quads and hamstrings a little bit more on those hip flexors. But it all starts down here, hence why we're getting a little bit of issues there. When we did the Achilles length, we found that obviously that left one was hitting that ball really well, we were even dropping back a little bit, whereas the right one was struggling ever so slightly. So it's like...
Oh my god, the right one was like nowhere near.
I don't want to say that.
And then it was like, like really far away, the right one was literally like, my toes are up against the wall and it still didn't even
it was like quite far back. With your foot arches, we found that your right foot arch was a little bit not moving as well as your left foot arch. Now this can play a little bit of a role. Just generally, obviously we're loading from the bottom up, so we need that good stable sort of foot arch and plantar fascia to be able to engage. Keeping that nice high arch helps your whole sort of bottom sort of ankle sort of function and go through. It can sort of help prevent shin splints, and it can help that calf sort of take a little bit of stress out of it ever so slightly by having like a better foot arch within there. But again, I know I don't like to use the word strong or weak at all, so we had good firing sort of on both sides. It's just we need to sort of flush out this bit of sort of pain and symptoms that we're getting at the moment. When I looked at your running form, just generally, so we found that you were sort of big toe contact. Right, everything was going through that, and we can relate that back to the fact that your right big toe was slightly more lax than your left one was. So it's probably got quite a lot of stress going through it because you were your just hill was just not. It's sort
I
of
think
just
it's
so
like the dancing background. Because when I was younger, I used to walk around literally on my tiptoes. Like that's how I would walk. Like my mum said, I would literally walk on my tiptoes.
Just be ballerina around.
Yeah, and my brother Broughton used to always laugh when my friend and I, who was like in my dancing family, we'd go out on runs when we were younger together, and he'd see us and he'd be like, you can just tell your dancers. Literally, it's like your prancing about running.
Yeah. So I think taking off a little bit of stress with the Achilles and the calf will just help bring that hill down a little bit. It might be that we need to do a little bit of like retraining with sort of remembering to engage the hill and to run and sort of scrape that mud off the bottom of your foot almost, if you have that sort of thinking in your brain.
What should touch, like when I'm running, what should touch the ground first, my heel or my toe? Like
so midfoot. So as you're running, you want a midfoot and then go through, and sort of you want to be sort of scraping through.
Like that and then like that.
Like that, So you're going through and you're sort of everything's sort of contacting. I mean, your heel doesn't do too much or shouldn't do too much work, but it still should sort of nicely drop down. But the way that you were running was really good. So everything was under your center of force. So it wasn't like you were over striding. Everything was very nicely controlled. Your sort of slight forward lean, your head was in a good place. I know we can get an actual like lateral view, but just looking at these things, you know, your running form is really good. You were using your arms really well. I like to look at my load vs capacity, right? So your running load is everything sort of that you're sort of training for, all the training you're doing and how it's mounting up. So we're talking about sort of that increased mileage on Strava. 3 runs a week, I think that's good, that's attainable, that's not a bad load that you're putting on at all. The strength sessions that you're doing, they're really good. Including, so you're doing like the runs with your new group, so you're getting all of this up. Everything's going up, and then we've got the 9th of March, we've got the Lisbon half. Right? Now, capacity wise, how you're sleeping, what food we're eating, how we're doing mentally through everything, how much mobility, how much strength our bones and body can physically go through, and sort of just your body health and wellness in general. This is where I think chiropractic comes in perfectly, because all of these factors we can help modify and adjust and work together to change. So if we increase your capacity, that means we're going to put a few more rocks on this side. So that means this is going to nicely even out as like a seesaw. And we can get that even, so everything's matching, everything's flowing really well. Right, I can just see chiropractic is great for this capacity. I think physio is probably like in the middle, helping you more with like the load and more like strength stuff. Whereas we can directly just go vroom, straight into here. Let's increase that capacity so we can increase that load. Or match it at least. Work-ons for now, I was saying, so looking at that strike, mobility and rolling. You're already starting to do that calf raising, which is great, and I'm pretty sure your PT will add that in really nicely. Dive in with some plantar fascia exercises, just gripping and letting go with your feet. Keep on enjoying running, I think is the main thing, which you seem to be ticking off really good. Don't get bogged down by it, but stay positive.
I feel like, I've turned a page the past week, because I've just been like so anxious and stressed like to even like go on a run, but then being able to do that tempo run yesterday, after you had said like, you can run, I was like, okay, like I can, I'm allowed, like it's fine. So ages I was like, oh my gosh, should I even be running on this?
You can run to a level, which is what we sort of discussed. Let's have a little look. Let's see how we're feeling.
Cool.
Have you ever been adjusted before?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
No. My friend was like, oh my god, please film this, because I just love like hearing like the clicking sounds and stuff.
Some people crack, some people don't. But we'll sort of go through it and see how it feels. Right, we're going to do a little impulse on this side, okay? Just relax your shoulder for me.
Whoa, that's mad. Oh my god, that was so much less.
That was so much less. Then we got quite a lot on this side. We'll probably cavitate a little bit more on this side.
Okay.
If you lift up this leg for me as high as you can go.
The whole leg?
The whole leg. And back down. And then same on the other side. And back down. Which side felt a bit heavier or a bit harder to lift up? You can do them again if you
I think I feel.
Yeah? Go for it.
The right side.
The right side? Okay. If you have a little lie down on your left for me. All the way out. Lift up this leg for me as high as you can go. Perfect, and back down. And then this leg. And back down. How did that feel lifting up the right leg?
So much easier.
So much easier, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. How's it feeling in there today?
It's feeling a lot less than last time.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We did a little bit of releasing last time, but not loads. I might have, and with sort of a little bit of a rest as well. Into there's a little bit more tender.
Yeah, that is more.
Right, we're going to do a little bit of releasing it, okay? Feel free to scream and tell me to stop.
Okay.
Okay? Right. Just do a little bit of release on this side, just so you don't end up walking in circles.
Imagine.
We don't want to get the right one like firing and the left one's just like, oh, what about me?
That's so funny. When we were chatting and you did the thingy where you like moved, it was all really clicky.
Yeah. Sort of like helps. So mobilization is perfect. Like I was reading research the other day.
Yeah.
Even like into like ankle sprains and stuff. Like mobilization is like one of the best things you can do for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that middle bit it felt a bit tender.
Into hair.
Yeah.
Squeeze your foot for me. Like tense everything up, perfect. And just relax. tense everything up again, and just relax.
Oh yeah, it's right there the way it's.
Yeah. And tense up again, and just relax. Perfect. I'm going to do a little ankle pull. So, we're going to... How the Achilles are feeling, sort of around the calf area. Any different? Doesn't
Yeah,
really
no, it is.
Yeah.
Because when I got up, what did I get off? Oh, I got up to take my shoes off, and I was like, it was hurting when I like stood up. Because sometimes if I'm sat down and stand up, it hurts, and that hurt when I went to put my shoes. Then when I just stood up there, I didn't feel it at all.
Yeah. So it's really good the way we're going through that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel really different.
Amazing. In a good way.
Yeah, I feel awful.
And then if you stand to face out that wall. Perfect.
I feel like I'm a criminal.
It does feel like mugshots being taken.
Yeah.
Great. Izzy, it's been a pleasure.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
So fun, I love it. So I've just got back and realised I haven't drunk any water, like literally hardly any water today. So I got sent this alt still water and it's refillable. I made curry noodle soup yesterday, which is literally one of my staple recipes. It is on my feed. If you type in Izzy Sedgwick curry noodle soup into Google, it will link you straight to the recipe. It's so good. It's mine and Cal's favourite, and it's really simple in terms of what you need to put in it. But yeah, I made it as part of an ad for Meta that I was filming yesterday, and I got leftovers for lunch. Mad. My body literally feels so different after the adjustments, and the clicking was crazy when he clicked my neck. Oh my god, it was like... I really hope that when I go back to the footage you can hear it, but the camera was really far away. Yeah, basically he said he wants to see me twice a week for the next month until the next review session, and then after that once a week. But I think just with my schedule and everything, I'm probably only going to be able to make once a week work. So we're going to look to do that, and basically you have adjustments and then you work through different exercises. You get given exercises at home, there's an app. Basically, yeah, we're looking at my posture, we're looking at my running style, we're looking at my training plan, we're looking at what strength training I'm doing. We're basically just putting it all together. But the crux of it is that I did that really long run just suddenly off plan, and I haven't really been doing any sort of strength for a while. I run on the balls of my feet quite a lot. There's a couple little things that are off tilter with my spine, but then there's a lot of great stuff that I'm doing as well. So we just got to keep pushing on the good stuff and then just have some minor adjustments on a couple little things that I'm doing. But yeah, overall I'm really happy. And basically this year I just want to basically just invest more time and money in my body and my well-being and things like that. So when I got given kind of the payment plan options, I was a little bit stressed because it's a lot of money, but it's investing in my body and my health and well-being and my future self. So I'm willing to do that, especially because I am having current issues that I really want to sort and fix. So yeah, and I'm hopefully going to get Cal involved as well. I've got a plan. I'm going for the well-adjusted plan, which is 24 chiropractic sessions, 2 review visits. So you have the sessions, then you have a review, then you have another load of sessions, then you have a review. Home stretch routines, strengthening exercises. You can share it with your friends, family and colleagues. So basically they can use the sessions as well. So it's 24 chiropractic sessions, but Cal would be able to use them as well as me. And I can just focus on building back up my body, I guess, when I'm training for such a massive race. And I'm going to challenge myself with a big challenge towards the end of the year, hopefully. And this is literally everything is all linked towards the Alzheimer's Society. So I'm raising money for my grandparents on both sides, so my dad's mum and my mum's dad, so my grandma and my granddad. So yeah, it's exciting, it's daunting. So I will take you on the journey with me. Catch you in the next vlog.